This seat is stain resistant and super water repellent. First of all, we will explain how to adjust the operator's seat. The seat can be vertically adjusted by turning the knob located at floor level. To slide the entire seat, use the slide lever located at floor level. To slide the seat by itself, use the lever below the seat. To recline the seat, pull the lever on the right side of the seat. To adjust the headrest, press the lock switch and make a vertical adjustment. The right console can be adjusted to 4 different levels using the tilt lever. The left console can also be adjusted in the same way. The angle of the armrest can be adjusted using the dial under the armrest. A standard safety seat belt is also supplied. Attach the instruction manuals to the chain behind the seat to keep them with the machine. Next, we will adjust the mirror. Adjust the mirror on the cab side. This mirror is collapsible so that it can be folded away when transporting the machine. Also adjust the mirror on the right side of the main unit. Next, we will explain the ignition key switch. This is the power off position. Accessory indicates that the accessory power is on and the radio and room light can be used. This is the power on position. This is the position for starting the engine. Start the engine. The cranking time of this machine is slightly longer due to the properties of the engine. When the water temperature is low, automatic preheating starts when the key is turned on to improve the startability of the engine. Furthermore, the engine is automatically warmed up after it has been started. The hydraulic components will be damaged if you perform a sudden operation when the oil temperature is below the second level on the bar graph. Therefore, wait for the hydraulic oil to warm to above level 2 before starting work. machine is started normally, the idling start function operates, and the engine operates at idling speed regardless of the position of the throttle volume. The idling start icon is displayed on the monitor when the idling start function is operating. We will now explain how to handle the machine when anti-theft is set. To set anti-theft, move the start key to off, on, off, on. When anti-theft is set, the monitor emits a buzzer noise and a key icon is displayed. The next time you attempt to start the engine, a password entry screen is displayed. Enter the previously set 4-digit password. If you enter the wrong password, the monitor emits a buzzer noise and an error is displayed. After you enter the correct password, press the rabbit mark switch to cancel anti-theft and operate the machine. The ignition key is used to open the cab door, house door, toolbox, fuel tank cap, and engine hood. Next, we will explain the throttle volume. This machine includes a new throttle volume control which enables the engine speed and work mode to be set simultaneously. Turn the volume to switch from the A mode to the H mode. You can also press the button on the volume to switch to the SP mode. The A mode is a fuel-efficient mode suitable for light digging and other minor operations and lifting. The H mode is the mode for regular digging. It combines speed and reduced fuel consumption. Its speed is equivalent to the heavy digging mode of Model 3, but also enables a 20% reduction in fuel consumption. The SP mode is a work mode that prioritizes speed. Its fuel consumption is equivalent to the heavy digging mode of Model 3, but has a higher speed. Next, we will explain the monitor. Displayed on the left is the water temperature, in the middle the oil temperature, and on the right the fuel gauge. The current work mode status and a bar graph of the engine speed is displayed above. When something goes wrong with the machine, a warning or malfunction message is displayed on the monitor. If a malfunction message is displayed on the screen, contact your nearest service factory. If an exclamation mark and a 4-digit number is displayed on the monitor, tell the number to the service factory. Next, we will explain the lever knob switches. The lever knob switch on the right switches the engine speed to idling speed. Press the switch to switch the idle speed and volume setting. The lever switch on the left is the horn switch. Next, we will explain the switch panel. The switch with the horn mark is the horn volume switch. The switch with the rabbit mark is the speed up, speed down switch. The switch above is the wiper switch. Press it to switch between continuous or intermittent wiping. The switch on the left is the washer switch. The switch on the right is the light switch. The monitor dimming function activates when the light switch is on. The switch below is the auto idling switch. When auto idling is set, the engine automatically switches to idling speed if the operation levers are left neutral for more than 5 seconds. The engine returns to its original speed after an operation lever or the one-touch idling switch or throttle volume is operated. The hour meter is located here. Below it is a trip switch. The radio is on the right console. In this machine, the radio has a mute function. Press the switch located in the index finger location of the left lever knob to mute the radio. Next, we will explain the gate lock lever. Push the orange gate lock lever forward to raise the lock bar to unlock the machine and enable operations. When the gate lock lever is in the center, the lock bar is down and the machine cannot be operated. Pull the gate lock lever back to make the left console pop up and enable easy exiting, entering of the machine. When you lower the left console to operate the machine, the left console returns to the position it was in before it was popped up. The machine includes a safety mechanism called the neutral start function, which ensures the engine does not start when the gate lock lever is released. The left console also includes an ashtray, air conditioner switch panel, and emergency stop switch. If you press the emergency stop switch, the engine stops, a warning buzzer sounds, and a message indicating that the engine is stopped is displayed. Release the emergency stop switch to restart the engine. Next, we will explain the right front monitor. A clock is located above. Adjust the time of the clock with the key turned to on. Below the clock is the air conditioner vent, a compartment for holding small items, and a cigarette lighter. Take care of the cigarette lighter as it operates at 24 volts. Below the right console is a drink holder. Next, we will explain the back of the cab. On the top left-hand side is a coat hook. Below that is a magazine rack, a hot and cool box, a large luggage space, and a utility box. The bottom cover is opened by pulling the two knobs. The center contains the fuse box, and the air conditioner's inside air filter is on the right. Inspect the inside air filter every 50 hours. Next, we will explain the back glass of the cabin. The back glass is used as an emergency exit window. To escape from the cabin in an emergency, pull the ring to completely remove the sticker from the window frame rubber and strongly push the window out. Next, we will explain the room lamp. If the switch is in the center, the lamp lights when the door is opened or closed. Even when the key is turned to off, the room lamp lights for 30 seconds when the door is opened. The skylight can be opened and closed. Finally, we will explain how to open and close the front window. To open the front window, unlock the center lock and pull the front window up. Confirm that the window is locked properly. To close the front window, unlock the center lock and pull the front window down. For safety purposes, this lock is a 2-level lock. The second lock cannot be unlocked if you release the locking lever. Make sure to pull down the front window while holding the lever. The bottom cab window can be removed when the front window is open. Lift it up and remove it from the window frame. Store the bottom window in the holder located in the back of the cab. When reattaching the bottom window, confirm the orientation of the window by confirming the mark on the bottom left of the glass. This concludes the Operation Instruction Manual Operation Guide. SH 200-5 Operation Instruction Manual Maintenance Guide. This machine conforms to the Japanese emission requirements for off-road vehicles due to be enforced in 2006 and is super low noise. The engine contains a common rail system and a cooled EGR system. This is the common rail system. This is the cooled EGR system. Inspect the engine oil using the level gauge. Make sure to inspect the engine oil before starting the engine. To inspect the fan belt, check the tension of the fan belt in this location. To adjust the tension of the fan belt, use this adjustment bolt. Never open the cap of the radiator tank when the coolant is at a high temperature. To inspect the coolant, check the reserve tank when the engine is cool. The fuel feed port is here. A stainless steel strainer is attached to the fuel feed port. Because the strainer is stainless steel, it is highly resistant to rust, and its large size prevents overflow when refueling. Use standard light diesel oil as used by automobiles. Never use non-recommended fuels as they may cause damage to the engine. Note that any damage caused by non-recommended fuels is not covered by the warranty. Refer to the instruction manual for information on the recommended fuel for your region. Inspect the gear oil of the swing reduction gear using the level gauge. The gear oil should be inspected every 250 hours and replaced every 1,000 hours. Drain the fuel tank of water using the drain cock located below the tank. Make sure to drain the fuel tank of water before starting the engine. Next, we will explain the pump compartment. This machine is equipped with 2 fuel filters. The top filter is the pre-filter. The bottom filter is the main filter. The fuel filters include a water separator function which makes a red ring rise up when the water collects. Drain excess water using the drain plug. The part inside here is the electromagnetic fuel pump, which also contains a filter. It is not normally necessary to replace this filter, but make sure to clean it regularly. This is the engine oil filter. This is the hydraulic oil pilot filter. It should be replaced every 2,000 hours. A high-performance return filter is included in the hydraulic oil tank. It enables a filter life of 2,000 hours and a hydraulic oil life of 5,000 hours. This is the hydraulic oil level gauge. Inspect the amount of hydraulic oil with the attachment in the transportation position. Next, we will explain the procedure for replacing the fuel filters. To replace the fuel filters, close this fuel stop valve and perform the replacement procedure using the wrench included with the standard tools of the machine. Replace the pre-filter every 250 hours and the main filter every 500 hours. It is also necessary to bleed the air after replacing the filters. When performing fuel air bleeding, start the electromagnetic pump by turning the key to on and loosen the air bleed plug on the main filter case. Pump the primary pump to perform air bleeding. Replace the engine oil filter every 500 hours using the wrench included with the standard tools of the machine. Replace the engine oil every 500 hours using the oil drainage coupler included with the standard tools of the machine. After replacing the plug, oil will ooze out when you screw the plug in. Next, we will explain the layout of the radiator compartment. The location of this radiator is parallel to the oil cooler. The object on the left is the oil cooler. The object on the right is the radiator. The objects in front of the radiator are the intercooler and the fuel cooler. This is the air conditioner's condenser. The coolant reserve tank is located here. Make sure to inspect the amount of water before starting work. Refill the coolant using the reserve tank. The grease gun holder is located here. The washer tank is located here. The maintenance-free battery is located here. Before starting work, check that the terminals are not loose. Check the state of the battery using the inspection window on the top cover of the battery. Green indicates normal operation, black indicates the battery must be recharged, and white indicates the battery must be replaced. Next, we will explain how to clean the radiator. Remove the dust prevention net before cleaning the radiator and the front of the oil cooler. To make it easier to clean the front of the radiator, the condenser is collapsible. If you remove the 4 bolts, the condenser can be retracted outwards. Next, we will explain the double element air cleaner. It should be cleaned every 250 hours and replaced every 1,000 hours. Next, we will explain the air conditioner's air inlet filter. To remove the filter, first remove this cover and then the cover further inside. Clean the filter every 50 hours. Next, we will explain the selector valve. This is the selector valve. To switch the selector valve, raise this lock pin and turn this lever. Refer to the label on the house door for information on switching the selector valve. Next, we will explain the procedure for greasing the machine. The areas to grease on top of the boom are the boom foot pin, boom cylinder head, and arm cylinder bottom. Grease the boom cylinder bottom here. Grease the turntable bearing here. Grease the arm cylinder head here. Grease the boom and arm connecting pin here. Grease the I-link attachment pin here. Grease the arm end pin here. Grease the bucket link area here. The attachments use EMS bushings, which need only to be greased every 1,000 hours. Furthermore, the bushings for the bucket attachment area are a steel-type bushing, which supports various types of attachments, and only needs to be greased every 250 hours. The high-capacity toolbox has a one-touch opening-closing mechanism for convenient insertion of pail cans. A chart that indicates the greasing areas is attached to the upper lid of the toolbox. Refer to it when performing maintenance. Warning labels are attached to various parts of the machine to indicate any danger one may encounter while operating, inspecting, or maintaining the machine. Make sure to follow the instructions on these warning labels. Finally, we will explain the spare tools included with a new machine. For replacing oil, the machine includes an oil drainage coupler, oil filter wrench, and fuel filter wrench. A toolbox, adjustable wrench, screwdriver, 14mm hexagonal wrench, and grease gun are also included. This concludes the Operation Instruction Manual Maintenance Guide.